Next question. Jocko, I got a question regarding the quote. If there is a doubt, there's no doubt. Oh, right. I remember that from the last time. Okay. This would seem to indicate avoiding taking risks. Many businesses or many business decisions involve risk. Often there can be a doubt about either of two options. Doubt that you should maintain the status quo and doubt about pursuing a new opportunity. You frequently talk about dichotomies. Would you mind sharing your thoughts on this principle?
Yeah, this is a classic thing, and it's a great point, and that's why these little sound bites can be a little bit dangerous sometimes. Where you get these little power sound bites because they are that simple. And of course, I like things to be simple, right? That's the number 2 law of combat, is to keep things simple. Sure. But sometimes things like this need a little bit of amplifying information. And yes, this could be construed as being extremely risk averse. And like, hey, if I have any doubt about the safety or the success of this mission, then we're not going to do it. Yeah. Which, if that was the case, then I would have done 0 missions during my deployments to Iraq. Same with business. Never would have started Victory MMA. Never would have started Echelon Front because there was risk involved in starting those things. Never would have done anything, really, because there's always going to be doubt. So this is an accurate statement. And, of course, every business has risk. And So I guess that idea that if there is a doubt, there is no doubt is not to be taken literally when it comes to risk. When it comes to risk, don't take it literally. But what it should be, I think, is like a warning, right? Like a little warning that's in your head. If there's a doubt, like, okay, we need to think about what's going on here. We need to understand what is at risk here. Because, and I just had this conversation with the CEO of a company. As a matter of fact, I was talking about the dichotomy of leadership, and I was talking about how, giving him examples. I was like, for instance, and he was in a technology company, and I said, if you didn't take risk, you wouldn't make any progress. But if you took too much risk, you wouldn't be where you are right now because they're dominating. So it's like, oh, you're balancing that dichotomy all the time. So if he would have said, hey, if there's a doubt, there is no doubt, he never would have gotten off the ground. Now, where I think it becomes a more solid statement is from like a moral or an ethical standpoint. And that is, if you think that something is wrong, well, then it probably is. Yeah. If you think you're doing something that you probably shouldn't be doing, then there's doubt and you probably shouldn't be doing it. I think an easy way to keep yourself in check, and these days it's a very real possibility, is just if you think that you're being recorded at all times. Like if you just think, oh, I'm being recorded, which probably somebody is recording you. Yeah. Like if you decide you think you can get away with something, you're probably not going to get away with it. Look at just go watch YouTube, caught in the act or whatever. People get caught all the time. So whatever you're doing, think that there could be somebody there with a phone recording you. And I think that keeps you morally and ethically in check. I used to tell my guys that you could be getting watched by CNN or Al Jazeera or some report, whoever, you could be getting watched. And if you're doing something that you shouldn't be doing, you're going to get caught. Yeah. So don't do it. Not to mention these days we got the aircraft overhead. They can see everything. So do the right thing. That's what you do. You do the right thing. Yeah. If you have any doubt that what you're doing is the right thing, then you probably shouldn't do it. A lot of the horrible police actions are recorded by some random person with a phone. Now, of course, I always need to point out that there's all these good actions that take place every single day. Millions and millions of police doing the right thing. Yeah. No one publishes those. No one uploads those onto YouTube or Facebook. But the bad acts that are caught, they're caught because someone has a camera. Yeah. And so, that's great advice for a cop. Hey, act like you're being recorded all the time. Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting. Well, it makes sense.
Because you very well might be.
Yeah. Yeah.
So do the right thing.
Do the right thing. Next question.
Thank God I didn't have cameras when I was a kid for all the dumb stuff I did. Yeah.
Yeah.
I always want to make sure that I'm not sitting here saying everyone out there should do the right thing like me.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm not saying that. If you thought I was saying that, I'm not saying that. And I apologize for even sounding that way. I was as dumb and stupid as the next person and still do dumb stuff. Try not to.
Yeah. Oh, good, bro. You're the man. You don't do dumb stuff, right?
No, it was bad when we had Charlie Plum and Jim Kunkel on. Yeah. And I'm thinking, they're like, hey, this is the way to act right. And I'm like, hey, don't put me in that category with you guys. You guys are awesome, like heroes, and I'm just over here.
I remember that.
Yeah, okay. Don't say that about me. You guys can say like, hey, talk about character. You have character. I'm just over here trying to do my thing. Yeah. Me too. Check.